Could you eat a meal this big every day for a year and lose weight? You already know the answer. This is the ridiculously big taco salad, a community favorite. We're gonna whip it up in 5 minutes. We're gonna talk about this controversial lettuce. We will do a taste test. I'll spin the wheel and I'll tell you a story you are not gonna wanna miss. So yes, this meal approach is driving massive amounts of weight loss success, but in this series we showcase the simplicity because you can whip this up in 5 minutes. I'm gonna show you how. We're gonna get the beef started, cooked on another day and ready to warm up right now. The dressing. It's a lot of yogurt. I'll take it a little easier on the mayonnaise today. Herbs, salt, and pepper. We're gonna just dilute it a bit with some water just to get it to the consistency that I like. That's about right for me. Right there. And the lettuce. But do we have this or this or this? What is our very best choice for our taco salad? You know, it's like one of those universal rules. The darker the leaf, the more nutrition. And so we have this almost anemic iceberg, spinach, and a spring mix. All worthy options. And people spend lots and lots of time discussing, can you absorb all the nutrients? And what's the difference between this and this and that? Lots of time and energy. I say save your time and energy. But we're about to have a taco salad. I mean, this is the obvious option for a taco salad. Let's talk about this. First, Mama used to tell me how bad iceberg lettuce was. I went to college dying on the hill of how bad this was for me. I remember filling out a health form, like what foods I don't eat. I put iceberg lettuce on the list and they were like, whoa, she's really hardcore. So what are the pros and cons? Put the green here, plus, minus. We should put one of these guys up here, just like that. Okay, but the minus, it's for the iceberg, all right? I mean, the spring mix really isn't controversial, not really. So Mom always said, this would totally mess up my digestion. Digestion. That was like an urban legend in the 80s. I don't know what it goes back to. Like it would just cause like massive constipation or something. I've looked it up. I really didn't see anything on it. Also negative, no nutrients. We have a lot of people who come into the community saying, do not eat iceberg, eat romaine instead. And I hate to burst y'all's bubble, but romaine doesn't have a lot of nutrients either. If you're really trying to maximize your nutrients, go wild forage some lettuce out in the forest, which is, by the way, a really great thing to do. But something like a spring mix or a spinach are gonna have a little bit more. For me, I'm gonna say, here on the plus side, crunch. I mean the crispy crunch of the iceberg, like a wedge salad, that should get like extra stars. We'll put some purple stars over here. Crunch. And you know, you need crunch. I mean, the world needs crunch. Gosh, it has crunch. It agrees. It's making a statement. And the reason a leaf of the iceberg has fewer nutrients than a leaf of the spinach is because it's filled with water. I think people would put water over here. Like, it's just all water. It's just all water. There's no nutrients. It's all water, okay? You know, water didn't make us fat. Water is actually healthy. There's actually a little emerging band of discussion out there that the water that's inside plants is extra healthy. I wonder what we're gonna be saying about iceberg in 50 years. I don't know, it doesn't matter to me because this helps me meet my long-term goals in weight loss. So does this. It's all wonderful. But the question for us today is what makes the best taco salad? And I bet you're all with me on that. So let's go. I've got 2 minutes. Boy, it's looking ugly. And it's getting messy. Oh my golly. Can't do this without a giant bowl. Using my time making a mess. Oh my gosh. I got a part onion. That's lucky for me because I don't have time to be cutting onions. Tomato. People in the keto world get afraid of tomatoes because they have some carbs. Not that many. Not really that many at all. A lot of good nutrients in it too. Okay, we're putting on the dressing. The meat warmed up for us. Cheddar. Oh, the timer. 6 minutes and 7 seconds. Cut some of the yapping off. Man, that would have been 3 minutes. All right. And what does it look like? Okay, pretty good, pretty good. And the mess, I don't know. Let's go eat it. A community favorite, the taco salad, with the 4 layers of the ridiculously big salad, the lettuce to help fill us up, the dressing for flavor, for fat, for satiation, protein on top, and the 4th layer, all the other stuff. This has tomatoes, onions, some cheese. I have considered adding this guacamole. I'm gonna pass today. This little thing is 90 calories. I'm gonna admit I want 2 or 3 of these. And truth be told, I've eaten some other stuff today. So in weight loss, I was careful with the stuff I was adding, but in weight maintenance too, I mean, you just always want to add more. I don't think that ever goes away. So how do we find our spot where we feel satisfied and we can draw the line and walk away? That is the key. The taste test. Oh, this is a giant bite. This is gonna be a mess. Okay. I can't even get a tomato. I can't even take a taste test. It's good. This is 100% predictable, needs more salt. I'm so glad I lost weight and my blood pressure went down and I can eat all the salt I want because I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, my blood pressure was in that range of like almost needing medication. It had gotten really high at one point, like 140 over 105. Does that sound right? Yeah, I mean, that sounds wrong. Losing weight is like almost a complete cure for that, by the way. And then you can eat salt. Okay, but we need to get to our story. Where's the wheel? Okay, the wheel. This is my favorite part. We have 6 stories on the wheel. Woman's World gift wrap. Facebook meeting from jail. Cowboy misunderstandings. I live in a brothel. Strangers on the highway. Ghosts of the brothel. Let's see what we get to hear today. Okay, it's right there. It is closer to Strangers on the Highway. Strangers on the Highway, that is a nice story. And then we'll replace this with another option for a future video and leave all the other ones on there. But let me just add a suggestion. As you eat, begin to shift your mind, like as you're finishing up this amazing meal, shift your mind to other things, perhaps to a story, okay? That gets your mind off onto something else. Strangers on the Highway is actually a really great positive story. I think it was maybe the first in this series that it was supposed to be told. I'll just eat a few bites and work on remembering the story for you. Wow, Strangers on the Highway. It was July 6th, 2018, but as some background, Eat Like a Bear was forming throughout 2018. I just didn't know it at the time. I was doing these live videos on Facebook showing people what I was eating. I don't know if you've noticed, it is completely outrageous. And so I was just kind of playing around with video. I was working on herb videos actually, and foraging, like foraging for plants in the forest. That's why I was doing videos. But people were catching like what I was eating. So I was doing these live videos, but I just got really tired of it. I got burned out and I went on hiking trips and I didn't do live videos for 2 months. Well, I came back. It was the morning of July 6th, fixing up maybe eggs or something for breakfast, when I happened to just randomly test, like do a speed check on our internet here. We had terrible satellite internet and never had enough speed for a live video. But I noticed we did right then. We had enough. We had enough. And so I finished making like it was like eggs or something. And I went out to the back porch and I did a live video for the first time in 2 months, like without planning or a schedule or anything. And 2 people showed up who had lost weight in the last 2 months. I was astounded. So not only were people following like what I was eating, they were losing weight. And that really shook me. I truly did not expect any of that. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have a plan. I was working on herb videos, not on weight loss videos. In fact, I had just been to a big video conference, VidCon, and I actually met a producer who was interested in producing foraging videos. And that's what I needed to be following up on, I thought. And yet 2 people lost weight. Wow, 2. And so I was kind of swirling with emotion about that all day long. And then there was another thing that happened that day that had me like deep in emotion of something else, something personal. And so I was out driving here on this like lonely little highway when I see 4 young people. So they're in their 20s, let's say mid-20s, and they're walking like right in the middle of the highway. I mean, straight up right in the middle of the highway. That's not normal behavior. And so I slowed the car down. I brought it to a stop right in the highway. I rolled my window down and I said, are you looking for something? And they said, we are looking for the best place to watch the sunset. And we spoke for a few minutes. They were so pleasant. In the end, I said, I know the best place for a sunset view. It's my house, and it happened to be a brothel in the 1920s. Would you like to come by? And so they came up to the house. We ended up spending a lot of time together that weekend. That was Friday evening. Saturday, I curated a hike for them, so they went off on their hike. And Sunday, they came back here, and we sat right around this living room, just chatting. And somewhere in all the chat of Friday night and Saturday night, it became clear that I was doing video stuff. I mean, I'd mentioned VidCon, that I met Jesus Christ at VidCon. I should put that on the story wheel. I think they were really wondering, what's this old person doing in the middle of the woods at VidCon? It's a big video conference. There are not many old women from the middle of the woods at VidCon. So at one point, a couple of hours in on Sunday, they just asked me point blank, what do you do? And so I was still like swirling from the emotion of that Friday morning live video. And then this like tension of, I had just been to VidCon, and like this whole idea of a producer of foraging videos, of herb videos. What do I do? What do I do? I don't know. And so I just kind of burst out, one of those moments, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing because I have this big plan for these herb videos. And yet, I could see the impact with the weight loss in those very early days. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. And the four of them, they sat there with their jaws dropped. And I was so emotional. And two men and two ladies, and one of the ladies just looked directly at me. She said, you have to do this, Amanda. You have to do this. And so that was Sunday, July 8th of 2018. It was Monday morning, July 9th, that I created the Eat Like a Bear group in Facebook. That was day one of the group, July 9th of 2018. And it was because of those strangers on the highway that they helped me see what I needed to do and to kind of push me into it. And interestingly, at that time, I still imagined I was doing the herb videos and the foraging. Remember telling friends that summer, oh no, I'm just getting this started and I'm going back to all that. And they did think I was crazy and like just out of touch and not appreciating what I was kind of moving into. I definitely didn't appreciate it in July of 2018. Well, okay. So I promise that the other stories on the wheel will not make me cry. Frankly, you don't want to miss any of those, but oh my God, some of those I should not be telling.